Good afternoon and welcome to Biztech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by Rajhi Bank, Malaysia. Phan Vee Leung, founder and CIO of Track Record Asia out of Singapore, is our guest today. V, welcome to the show.
Hey, hi. Thanks, Brian. It's good to see you. Let's talk about
Now,
markets.
we're going to get your insights specifically today on cryptocurrencies. We're going to start first by getting the numbers out, and then we'll look at regional stock markets. Now, Bitcoin is currently at 30,089.9. It's up 3.46%. Ethereum is at 2,020.93. It's up 3.72%. Now, looking across the regional stock markets, the SGX is at 3,231. It's up sharply 1.25%. Now, looking across to the KLSC, it's at 1,551.21. It's up 0.12%. Shanghai is at 3,134.91. It's up 1.23%. ASX 200 is at 7,384. It's up 1.11%. The Nikkei is at 26,719. It's up 1.2%. The Hang Seng is at 20,513. It's up 1.95%. And rounding up the numbers, we've got the Kospi, which is at 2,639.52. It's up 1.82%. Now, V, that's a sea of green across the region. Tell us why.
Sea of green. Well, it's a brief reprieve from the sea of red from before.
Yes.
we had a bloodbath 2 days ago, the night before in the US session. So it's just, I believe it's a technical rebound. And also on the back of lower US bond yields, I think now market is a bit worried that maybe the Fed may not have to be as aggressive as they threaten to be, given that economic numbers are slowing down a little bit. But I think mostly it is very oversold conditions, and it's a record high cash holdings from quite a few surveys among investment banks. So that means that anybody who is overinvested would have been at neutral or at below benchmarks, right? So for the tech sector, the shorts, according to one survey, is the shortest since like in 20 years. So that's that says something, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Now, V, I want to ask you again about the divergence of central bank policy. So China just cut its 5-year loan prime rates by 15 basis points this morning. Now, obviously, that was a sharper cut than it was expected. Now, on the flip side of the equation, obviously, we've got the Fed, which is raising interest rates. Give us a sense of how this divergence in central bank positions impacts us in ASEAN.
So as you said, you pointed out correctly, the Fed is hiking aggressively and looking to hike even more in the weeks ahead, in the months ahead, while Asian central banks such as actually is just predominantly China and Japan, right? They are looking to continue. Japan continues to print unlimited amounts of money to buy the Japanese government bonds, and for China, they promised to embark on a set of policies that will boost economic growth, and they are fulfilling their promise right now. And it's in response for China specifically. It's in response to the slowdown that's pretty much self-inflicted. The one factor is that the crackdown on tech stocks, tech sector, education tech sector, but it also is in response to the economic slowdown due to the zero COVID policies. So that's not exactly self-inflicted, but it is because of their policies. So we are going to continue to see that. We're going to continue to see divergence in economic trajectories for these economies. For the Chinese economy, I think it's a good sign that the government is now very set on boosting the economy. I think history has shown so far, although there's many China skeptics in this world, history has shown so far when they put their mind to boosting their economy, they tend to do it and tend to get it done. So I think we should see some strong recovery in the months ahead for China.
Okay, V, I want to now pick your brains because you're in this space around cryptocurrencies. So we've had a bloodbath, to use your word earlier in the conversation. We've had a bloodbath in cryptos. Tell us why and what has the impact been in terms of faith in cryptos?
Right. So as you said, I'm involved. So thanks for rubbing it in. It is a bloodbath, but it's caused by two things. One is it was trading weak before, in response to the U.S. Federal Reserve's policy, in that interest rates in the U.S. is higher. What has happened is that risk assets in general, not just cryptos, but stocks, and even bonds, have all corrected in face of higher interest rates and higher, more aggressive Federal Reserve policy. So we have seen crypto responded as well. But the recent bloodbath was not just stock market's correction, but it also was due to a death spiral in one of the supposedly stable coins. Is called the algorithmic stable coin,
Mhm.
where it's called Luna Terra, the ecosystem. So this coin, Luna, it traded, was $80 last week at the start of the week. By the end of the week, it was below 1 cent, and there's so many zeros after the decimal that it's very difficult to keep track of it. So it's a timely reminder that crypto is not for the faint of heart. When it's too good to be, it looks too good to be true, it is often not true. So the reason for the death spiral was, it is the coin of an ecosystem which has a stable coin which is supposedly pegged to a dollar,
Mhm.
but their assets are not stable assets. Their assets are bitcoins and other cryptos, right? So essentially, when Bitcoin was weak, it started coming off. There was a concerted selling effort, whether by one parties or a number of parties. But what happened was the peg broke from a $1, it descended to 60 cents, and then the myth is broken, right? So then everybody started selling, and by the end of the week, the stable coin is at 10 cents to the dollar, while the ecosystem coin, the Luna, is now below 1 cent. So that had a contagion effect, and Bitcoin broke the new year lows, and as did Ether. But I think that drama has settled down. The dust has settled for now. So the contagion effects. That's why you see, as you said, Bitcoin is above 30,000 again. Ether is above 2,000. But for now, still, it trades pretty much in response to, in tandem with tracking the risk sentiment of stock markets and risk appetite in general. So I guess the question would be, yes, we want to know what's the reason for the bloodbath, uh, but the key to understand cryptos is it's a game for the very, very long term. In the short term, the volatility is very high, so you need to
Mhm.
size your risk appropriately. Don't be the one of the many who gets crushed in a correction. We've seen many corrections before. In fact, this is likely to be a winter, as it's a bear market for some time. This is not going to be the last. It's not the first. It's not going to be the last. So the purpose, the way to profit from this whole sector is to size your risk such that you don't have to worry if it halves. Essentially, Bitcoin has half from the peak, right? But you
Mhm.
don't get leverage that you need to stop out. But you also need to understand that on the way on the way to all-time highs is not a smooth path, and we will see more corrections. But
And
it is
speaking of seeing more corrections, V, um, I've read that, and I've heard this from other analysts, that the support levels for Bitcoin from a technical perspective is below 20,000, that 19,000. Um,
uh,
is that the case? I mean, give us your perspective.
well, I think on a long enough time frame, you can find support levels anywhere from here to $1,000 or even below, right?
Okay.
But the support that I see from in the next weeks, in the near term, I guess in the near term is more important when
Yes.
markets are not going so well. I would say it's around 26,000, 25,000, 26,000.
Okay.
There's going to be some difficulty in, at least without a stock market meltdown, it will be quite difficult to break last week's panic lows, right? Because
Okay.
everybody who was in front of a screen, when you see a coin that is worth billions of dollars, market cap goes to zero in a matter of 2 days, you will find that if you are slightly leveraged, you will have taken out your leverage, right? If you're not convicted,
Yes.
you will have sold your Bitcoin in tandem, right? In response to that. So I think right now the markets probably will find it hard to break last week's lows. But yeah, I think on a long enough time frame, 19,000 sure it's possible. But I for now, what I would look for a sustained recovery, I think Bitcoin, Ether, they're all in a range right now. For a sustained recovery, it has to decouple from the general risk sentiment of the stock market. Then you will say, okay, yes, this is the end of the sell on rallies market. Or also that inflation is on the trajectory down, such that the U.S. Federal Reserve starts to ease off on their hawkish rhetoric. Yeah.
Now, V, as always, thank you very much for taking your time to be on the show.
Thank you. Thank you for having me. Speak again soon. Right. Cheers.
We've been speaking to Phan Vee Leung, founder and CIO of Track Record Asia, on Biztech's Asian Midday Market Watch, powered by Rajhi Bank, Malaysia. This video and podcast will be on our website, www.biztech.asia, as well as Rajhi Bank's social media platforms. Please subscribe and like our various platforms. Thank you very much for tuning in.